Hi there and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Richard, and in this video is going to be all about the keyboards and keys that I use with X-Plane. So let me show you a couple things here. Okay, so these are the two keyboards that I use. On the left here, you see my MacBook Pro 16-inch MacBook that I use to fly X-Plane, and that sits on my left side of me. On the right side, at my right hand, I have this numeric keypad that is built specifically for MacBooks because it has 35 keys, and the default setup is for Mac, not for Windows. Don't buy anything else than a 35 keyboard from this company. KC Blue is the brand, and there are other. There's lots of 34 keyboards out there for Windows. There are a couple of 35 keyboards out there that are not really 35 keyboards, and I've informed Amazon that some of their suppliers aren't sending the right stuff, because I had to send two of them back before I got this one. So that's at my right hand, this is at my left hand, and I use both keyboards, and now I'm going to show you how I use them. So what I have here are the setups for the keys that I use. Okay, so here are all of the keys on the MacBook keyboard, and so you got the up and down arrows, you got a free camera, zoom in and out, hit the map key, tilt up and down, pitch, trim, start and stop a timer, pan left to right in a default view. But all the interesting stuff is over here. So to turn the autopilot on or off, I have there's a function in X-Plane called servo toggle, or toggle servos. I forget which one. I think it's servos toggle. And then you have a flight director toggle. Okay, so when you turn on the autopilot, the servo toggle is enough to turn it on. The flight director, which let me show you here. I can do that right now. So if you watch, let me dive in a little closer here. If you watch me turn on the autopilot, okay, I'm in the roll mode, the autopilot is on, and these magenta lines, slanted lines here, is the flight director. It helps you steer, and sometimes it actually gets in the way. And so that's how you turn it on. Then I have, so what I did right there is I hit the servo toggle button, okay, and then I'll come up here and I'll hit the heading sync and the AP heading select. I'm not going to do the vertical speed at this point. I can, we'll see. All right, so if I move the heading bug over and then I hit the first F13 key, it automatically puts it to the center. And then if I hit the next key, F14, the roll mode just changed right there to heading mode. And then if I hit the third key, so that was F13, F14, the third key is F15, and that gives me vertical speed. Right now set to 0 because I'm on the ground. If I was in the air and I was climbing at 1,000 feet per minute, this would be the current vertical speed, which would be 1,000 feet per minute. And when you get ready to turn this off, this is the two-step process of turning it off. So in order to turn it off, I have to do two things. I have to toggle the servos off, then I have to toggle the flight director off. So watch this. So you'll hear a bell go off when I toggle the autopilot off, and you'll see
Caution.
that it's sort of like still on. The flight director is still on. Then if I toggle the flight director, everything turns off. So that's how you turn the autopilot on and off, and it's very handy to have a key. Um, I can hold the yoke steady with my left hand and use my right hand, because I'm right-handed, um, to hit those keys on this separate numeric keypad that attaches to the Mac quite nicely. And so I've got other keys here. I've got numeric 1 through 8 are sort of out displays inside and outside the cockpit. I can show you those. So if I'll just go them across, 1 is 135 degrees left. Oops, sorry. 1 is 135 degrees left. 2 is 90 degrees left. 3 is 45 degrees left. 4 is a straightforward view where you can see all kinds of stuff. 5 is 45 degrees to the right. 6 is 90 degrees to the right. 7 is 135 degrees to the right. And then my other views is sort of I want to see both the primary flight display and the multifunction display while I can still look outside. And then I've got this is for engine start. So that's the stick that the pilot uses, and the functions just above the stick here are for starting the engine. Fortunately, I have automatic engine start turned on. And so the other keys, let me go back to a normal view here. The other keys are quite handy to have, and that's why you make them. I could turn on the HUD and the HUD brightness, and I can change the course arrow up or down, or the range up and down on the multifunction display, and I can turn on each of the other types of autopilot holds. All my autopilot settings are up here, so I've got altitude. Instead of vertical speed hold, you can hold an altitude, turn on the nav, turn on the approach, or turn on the vertical navigation. All of that's going to be described in future videos. Okay, so it's nice to be able to, I'll show you, for example, let's say I've got a VOR 1 locked in here. That's the Spartanburg VOR. And I want to change the course arrow. So I'm hitting button clear, the numeric keypad button clear. There's only one, actually. And then the numeric keypad equal key, okay. And so these are just quite handy. And I can show you that a little easier too if I come over here to the keyboard and I type in a key. For example, I'll type in the clear key. So it says the G1000 course down, and that was with the clear key. And if I hit the equal key, it says num equal, and that's the G1000 pilot course up key. And this is the one for the course, the range down and range up of the multifunction display. So you just set the keys you want in the function you want, and you can actually use, like, so I want G1000 MFD range up. Well, if you don't know what that is, you just type here, you type in G1000 range. So here they are. G1000 multifunction display, range up and down are those two keys. And that's just how you assign them. By knowing and understanding the function that you want inside X-Plane and assigning it to a key. And I use as many numeric keypads as I can, just because it's handy at the right hand while I'm flying with the left hand. Okay, so that's about all I know about keys and keyboards. I know very little about Windows. I'm a Mac guy, and so I know something about Windows, enough to know that I don't want to use it. But I don't actually own a Windows machine anymore. I used to uh, use Windows a lot, but now I'm 100% Mac. So um, that's the introduction to keys and keyboards. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.